Let's begin our coaster set with the base. The base is 3/4 of an inch thick. It's made out of oak. It's 4 inches wide, 4 inches extruded deep, and there's 2 holes, one in opposite corners. They're a 1/2 inch in from each edge. Let's begin. New, standard IPT, click Create. Start with a 2D sketch on my XY plane. I'm going to zoom all, and I'm going to use my pan tool to move my origin to the lower left corner. Beginning with a rectangle, starting at our origin when we get our green dot, click to stretch out a rectangle, and this is going to be 4 inches across the top. Press the Tab key, 0.75 inches thick. Zoom all, finish sketch. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude direction number 2 to a depth of 4 inches. Click OK. Go home. Next I need to locate my point, so I'm going to take a 2D sketch, put it on the top, zoom off. I'm going to place a point in the upper right hand corner and a point in the lower left hand corner, and now these need to be dimensioned. From the point to the right hand side, this is a 1/2 inch, 0.5. From the point to the top, this is a 1/2 inch, 0.5. We're going to do the same to the lower left hand point. From the point to the bottom of the block, 0.5, 1/2 inch, and from the point to the left hand side of the block, 0.5, 1/2 inch. Finish my sketch, use my hole tool. Let's take a look at our coaster set sheet. The 2 holes are diameter 0.25, depth of a 1/2 inch. Going back to our drawing, we're going to set our depth to a 1/2 inch. I'm going to set my diameter to 0.25. Click OK. Next, let's take a look at our coaster set sheet. We have a 0.125 chamfer on all 8 sides. That's the 4 top and the 4 bottom edges. Back at our drawing, I'm going to use my chamfer tool. Distance is 0.125. I'm going to take and select my top 4 edges, rotate so I can select my bottom 4 edges. Press the escape key to let go of the rotate tool. Click apply, click cancel, go home. Next I'm going to change my material from the default material. Scroll all the way down, and I want to select wood, white oak. Go to the orange capital letter I, save as. We're going to save this to your H drive. And in your H drive, you're going to scroll down. We want to find first initial, last name 000. And here we're going to call this part base. Click save. That part's done. I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to go next for my cork disc. 0.275 inch diameter circle, and it's extruded back 0.25. Let's begin. New, standard IPT, 2D sketch, XY plane. I'm going to begin with a circle, starting in the origin when I get my green dot, 2.75. Press enter. Finish sketch. We're going to extrude direction number 2, and the distance is 0.25. Okay. Go home. We're going to change our material from default, and we want to find cork. Next we're going to save this. Big orange capital letter I in the upper left hand corner. Save as. I'm going to make sure that this is in my H drive. First initial, last name 000. I'm going to enter in the name for this part of cork. Click save. My cork part is done. I'm going to minimize that. Let's take a look at my coaster sheet set. My next part is going to be the peg. 0.25 inch diameter circle, extruded 2.5 inches, and it has a 0.125 fillet on the end of the peg. Let's begin. New standard IPT, going to start with the 2D sketch on the XY plane. Circle tool. Start at the origin. 5. Enter. Finish sketch. We're going to extrude this circle back. Direction number 2. And this is going to be 2.5 inches. Click OK. Go home. Next we need a fillet on this end of the peg. So I'm going to use my fillet tool. The radius is 0.125. I'm going to select my top edge of the peg. Click apply. Cancel out this window. And my peg is done. Let's change our material from default to white oak. I'm going to go to my orange capital letter I, save as, make sure I'm in my H drive, first initial last name 000. And I'm going to call this part peg. Save. Minimize that. Next, I'm going to draw my last part, the coaster itself. The coaster is a 1/2 inch thick, made out of oak. It is 4 inches wide, extruded to a depth of 4 inches. Let's begin. New standard IPT. I'm going to start with a 2D sketch, XY plane, zoom all, and I'm going to move my origin to the lower left hand corner. Begin with my rectangle tool. When I get my green dot, start a rectangle, 4 inches wide, press tab, and it's going to be 0.5 inches thick. Press enter. Zoom all, finish sketch. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude at direction 2 for a distance of 4 inches. Go home. Next, if we take a look at our sheet, we have 2 holes, one in opposite corners. Let's create those. Going back to my drawing, 2D sketch, place it on the top view, zoom all. I'm going to place 2 points, one in the upper right hand corner, one in the lower left hand corner. These need to be dimensioned from the point to the side, 1/2 inch, from the point to the top, 1/2 inch. I'm going to dimension from my point in the lower left hand corner to the bottom, 1/2 inch, 0.5. I'm going to dimension from my point to the left hand side of my block. This is also 0.5. Green check mark. I'm going to finish sketch. I'm going to use my hole tool. If I take a look at my sheet set, this hole is specified as diameter 0.31 and it goes all the way through. So let's take a look at our drawing. We have a diameter of 0.31 and I'm going to change my termination from distance to through all. Click OK. Next I need a big hole in the middle to accept that cork disc. 2D sketch on the top. I'm going to place a point. I'm going to dimension from the point to the edge of my coaster. This is 2 inches. I'm going to dimension from my point to the right hand side of my block. This is also 2 inches. Finish sketch. I'm going to use my hole tool. Now let's take a look at our sheet. This hole in the middle is 2.75 diameter, a depth of 0.25. So I'm going to drill 2.75 diameter. I want this to go a distance, and I'm going to select my distance to 0.25 inches deep. This is a flat bottom hole, so I'm going to change to a flat bottom drill bit and select OK. Next I need to take and chamfer 0.125. Take a look at our sheet set. 0.125 chamfer, all 8 sides. I'm going to chamfer all 4 of my top edges. Rotate around. I'm going to Press the escape key, let go of the rotate tool, and I'm going to select the bottom 4 edges of my coaster. Click apply, cancel, go home. Next, I need to take and put a fillet on the top and bottom, a chamfer on the top and bottom of these 2 holes in the corners. Let's go back to our sheet. I'm going to use my chamfer tool again. I'm going to chamfer the top of my holes, rotate to the bottom, rotate to the bottom, press the escape key to let go of your rotate tool, and I'm going to chamfer the bottom, click apply, click cancel of my 2 holes. Go home. My coaster's finished. I'm going to change my material from default to white oak. Go to my orange capital letter I, save as. Make sure I'm in my H drive, first initial, last name 000. Type in coaster for the file name and click save. You are now completed with all the parts for your coaster set.